Hey, welcome to Computation Corner on day 5. Today we're going to do a little addition and subtraction of fractions, some review of working with fractions. Remember, when we're doing addition and subtraction of fractions, it's always very helpful to get our denominators the same. So we're going to create equivalent fractions for one of our fractions, or sometimes both of the fractions, to make sure the denominator is the same. Once we get the denominator the same, we can just simply add or subtract the numerators to find the answer. Because if the denominators are the same, it's essentially just a label. So let's look at what this would look like for here. So if I was going to say 1/4 and 3/16, I have to find a number that would be easily, I could convert both denominators to be the same denominator. I know that 4 is a factor of 16, or 16 is a multiple of 4. So I can go ahead and convert my 1/4 into 16ths. I would do that by multiplying the bottom by 4. What I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top, because if I'm multiplying the top and the bottom by 4, I'm basically multiplying it by 4/4 or 1. Thus, I'm not changing the value. I'm just creating an equivalent fraction that's easier for my problem. So 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 1 is 4. Now I have 4/16 plus 3/16. I don't have to do anything with my other fraction because now I have like denominators. So all I have to do is add my numerators together. 4/16 plus 3/16 equals 7/16. When you have the same numerator, I said earlier, it's just like having when you have the same denominator, it's just like a label. 16th becomes essentially a label. So I have 4/16 plus 3/16. I have 7/16 because I'm talking about the same unit, the same fraction, the same denominator. It's just like saying 4 apples plus 3 apples is 7 apples. 4/16 plus 3/16 is 7/16. Now I can do the same thing for subtraction, and I went ahead and I created 4/16 to match the denominator of my other fraction, 3/16. So now I have 4/16 minus 3/16, and I know that 4 minus 3 is 1, so it just becomes 1/16, because again, it's just a label at that point. It's like 4 apples. If I eat 3 of them, I only have 1 left. Now, here's some problems for you to work on. Okay. So go ahead and pause the recording, and then you're going to compute these. When I come back, we'll go over the answers. All right, everybody. Here is the answers for these 3 problems. I have to find something that I can convert both of these fractions to that would help me add these 2 fractions together. I want to get that denominator the same. So I'm going to do what I call the quick common denominator, and I'm just going to go ahead and multiply 5 times 3. That gives me 15. So I know that both of these numbers, 5 and 3, are factors of 15, so I can go ahead and convert to 15ths. So I need to multiply this fraction by 3 over 3, and I need to multiply this one by 5 over 5. All right, which will give me 3 times 4 is 12 over 5 times 3 is 15. And I'm going to add that to 5 times 2 is 10, and then 3 times 5 is 15. When I add those 2 together, it's 12 plus 10, or 22 over 15. And then if you wanted to, you could create a mixed number and say 1 over 7/15. Okay. I'm going to do a similar situation for this next problem as well. 8/11 minus 1/2. I'm going to find that quick common denominator again and just multiply 2 times 11. So I have to multiply this first fraction by 2 over 2. And then I'm going to multiply the second fraction by 11 over 11. Okay. So that's going to give me 16/22. And I'm going to subtract that from 11 times 1 is 11. 11 times 2 is 22. Now I have the same fraction. I can just subtract. 16 minus 11 is 5. And I'm talking 20 seconds because I have the same denominator. And then finally, 2/7 plus 1/3. Again, I'm going to use that quick common denominator strategy, and I'm going to just multiply 7 times 3 is 21. So I'm going to express both of these fractions in 21st. To do that, I multiply the first fraction by 3 over 3. Again, 3 over 3 is 1. So if I multiply that by 1, I don't change its value. I'm just converting to an equivalent fraction that will help me solve my problem. And then I just need to multiply 1/3 by 7 over 7 to get 21st. 3 times 2 is 6 21st. 1 times 7 is 7 over 3 times 7 is 21. So now I'm adding 6 21st plus 7 21st, and my total is 13 21st. All right, so there's a review on adding and subtracting fractions. Remember, find a common denominator, and then you can do your addition and your subtraction. Hope this helps. Have a great day.